boys and girls, welcome back to Billy's Blades and Tools. Got some items that I picked up at a thrift store and a little antique mall sort of place. Today we woke up to temperatures that were a little chilly. It was 2 degrees when I woke up this morning. Over the weekend we got about 6 inches of snow here in central Ohio, west side of Columbus, Ohio. And so it's winter time here. So anyway, the wife and I decided that we didn't have anything to do today, so we would go grab some lunch at a little town outside of where we live, Plain City, Ohio. A little place called the Red Hen. They've got some good sandwiches and breakfast stuff there, so we thought we'd go there. And then while we were in Plain City, we'd stop at the thrift store and a little antique place. So let me show you what we ended up picking up. First thing I do when I go to the thrift store is to go through the cutlery area, silverware and whatnot. And I found this carving knife. Let's see, I don't think you can pick it up, but it says Alfred Field and Company, Progress, stainless steel. It has a bone or horn handle on it, very heavy, and on the pommel it says, well, it's kind of dirty, but it's got JR on there. So I bought it because I thought, you know what, I could probably use that handle on a knife. And I paid $3.50 for this. So I thought, you know what, I can use the handle, take it apart, and maybe use it down the road. So picked that up. Wife, looked around at the thrift store, didn't really find anything else. So we went on down the road to the antique store, walked around there, found a booth that had some cheap knives in it. This one was in there. It's missing the scale on this side. It's Imperial Ireland. I paid $1 for this. I thought if nothing else, it can be used for parts. But maybe I can clean it up, pull this side off, and see if I can put a scale on at least one side to start with. If it ends up not working out, well, it's a parts knife. So, got that. But when we left the thrift store, told the wife what I bought, why I bought it. We were in the car, just heading down the road. It was about a mile away from the antique store. And she goes, well, there was some forks at the thrift store that had bone or stag handles on it. And I said, well, I didn't see that. I said, well, let's go to the antique store, walk around there, and then we'll drive back down and see what those forks look like. They're the type of fork that comes with a carving set. So we went back down there. The antique store was kind of a bust. They had some knives in there, but they were, somebody really thought those knives were worth a lot. The cheapest one was $150 for some pocket knives, and maybe they were worth that. I don't know. I didn't look at them. So anyway, we went back to the thrift store. She took me over to the area that the forks were in, which was in a totally different area. It was more into the antique part of the thrift store. So we found these two. Some kind of antler on this one. Again, I'm thinking, take them apart, maybe use that. I don't know. Same thing on this one. So we ended up buying them. I paid $4 for this one, and I think $4 for this one, something like that. and actually I think the knife I paid $2.50. Doesn't matter. Anyway, very cheap. Thinking I'm just going to use the handles for something. So when I got home, I started doing a little research on the knife, and I looked up some information about this Alfred Field and Company, and I guess they started out, they weren't knife makers, but they started out in England around 1814, and throughout the years things changed, and they ended up they were just kind of a merchant that handled different items. And at one point they had some carving sets put together made by different companies. So I did a little research, did a little, and again, I know AI is not the most popular thing for some people, but I've used it on numerous occasions and got some good information. So I looked up the info on this carving knife. I typed in the name and stainless steel, the JR on the end, trying to figure out, whether it was worth anything and what the info was on it. So from what I can gather, this knife was probably made between 1922 and 1928 by a company called Joseph Rogers. That's what the JR stands for. They made this knife for the Alfred Fields Company. And the date was based on stainless steel was just coming into effect, as a steel for making knives, with the JR on the end. That identifies it being made by Joseph Rogers, who they started using stainless steel in those years, 1922 and 1928. So I've identified this knife. It's not a high dollar knife. It's probably worth between $50 and $75 out there. The tip on it, I don't know if you can pick that up. The tip on it's got a little bend on it. Been bent a little bit, but other than that, it's got a few scratches here and there. It's been used. Other than that, the horn, which they say it's either cow. What did they say? Cow? I don't know. Anyway, could have been a cow horn. Don't know for sure. Positively, there's no positive identification. So then I got looking at the forks that I picked up, and if you look at the pommels, or not the pommels, but this part here, they're identical, but the pommel is missing from this fork. So I believe this is a set, just based on the horn. It is very similar. This part is exact. Might be a sterling silver or a plated silver, don't really know for sure. But being a set, even with the pommel missing, it's worth quite a bit more. So I'm going to do just a minor cleaning on it. And originally I bought these just for the handles to use in a future knife project that may need a handle. But now I'm having second thoughts. I may end up trying to sell this on eBay and making a couple bucks off of it, because with it being a set in fairly good condition for its age, it's 100 years old. So I think I may end up putting it up for sale. Now there's no identifying marks on here, no maker's marks anywhere. And like I say, the pommel is missing. But with those two things looking the same, I gotta believe they're a match set. They just got separated at the thrift store. Now this other fork, I don't know what brand or anything on this. There are no maker's marks on here anywhere that I've been able to find. I looked really close up here. Nothing on the handle, of course, but it's some kind of antler. You know, it's dirty, got a little bit of surface rust here and there, but I can't find any kind of mark anywhere. Let me clean this rust off here real quick, see if there's anything under there. Using a pencil here that takes the rust off but doesn't hurt the steel. And there's nothing. So anyway, so this one may end up coming apart just for the stag antler, but overall I think I did pretty good at the thrift store. This little Imperial, it's not worth a whole lot, but the blades are in good condition. They're not all wore down, right? Kind of rusty. Imperial, Ireland. Oh, damn. Dang. But, you know, the scale's missing off this side, so this one's probably going to come apart too, but this is a clamshell type scale, so that can be taken off, and maybe I can come up with something to make new scales for both sides. But this knife kind of surprised me. The antler horn is in real good shape. But overall, not a bad knife. It needs to be sharpened. Like I say, the tip on that been tweaked a little bit on the end, but overall it's in good condition. So it might be worth, you know, with being a match set, I don't know, $100, who knows. So I think I might not mess with the handle and leave it alone. So let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. I always appreciate comments. Sometimes you come up with stuff and you think you want to go one direction, you end up going a different direction. So appreciate everybody watching. Hope everybody stays warm if you're up in the northern part of the states. And everybody be blessed, be a blessing, and take care.